I wanted to do a quick recap of the timeline and evidence the prosecution has for David's case before his preliminary hearing that's scheduled for May 26, 2026. Detectives determined that the victim Celeste and the defendant David met in January of 2022 when she was 11 years old. They began a sexual relationship in November of 2023 when she was just 13 years old and he was 18. Detectives learned that Celeste had been reported missing to the Riverside County Sheriff's Department by her family, who live in Lake Elsinore, in February and April of 2024. The Sheriff's Department contacted David via phone on February 7th of 2024, after they identified a phone number in Celeste's phone records that belonged to him. During the call, David claimed he had last spoken to Celeste on February 13th or 14th of 2024, but stated he was unaware she was a minor or that she had been missing. They advised him that Los Angeles Sheriff's Department deputies would be coming to his home later that day. David was living at 804 North Doheny Place in West Hollywood. Deputies arrived to his home at 8:15 p.m. and informed him that Celeste was a 13-year-old runaway. David again claimed he was unaware and didn't know where she was or that she was a minor, and he had only met the victim once in person in November 2023. However, David showed deputies a yearbook photo of Celeste that he had on his cell phone. Although he claimed to be unaware of where the victim was at the time, she returned home 2 days later. After Celeste returned home in February of 2024, her parents took her cell phone away. So, David drove to Lake Elsinore and paid a junior high school student in Celeste's class $1,000 to give Celeste a cell phone that he purchased so they could stay in contact. Throughout 2024, Celeste spent a significant amount of time with David, including summer weekends at his home in the Hollywood Hills, traveling with him to Las Vegas, London, and Texas to meet his family. Text exchanges between Celeste and David contain references to an intimate relationship, pregnancy, abortion, and use of the Plan B emergency contraceptive. There are also explicit photographs documenting and corroborating their intimate relationship. In November 2024, David and Celeste broke up, although they continued to communicate, and text messages suggest they also continued to have intimate relations. Through March 2025, David continued to communicate with Celeste. These messages were obtained from David's iCloud data. April 22nd of 2025, David and Celeste had an argument. Messages revealed that Celeste was jealous over David's relationships with other women, as David led her to believe they had a future together. She became extremely upset and threatened to disclose damaging information about their relationship that could end his career and destroy his life. At approximately 8:40 p.m. on April 23rd of 2025, David sent an Uber to get Celeste from her Lake Elsinore home to his residence. They communicated before and during her Uber ride, which dropped her off at David's Hollywood Hills home around 10:10 p.m. At approximately 10:30 p.m., David sent text messages to Celeste inquiring where she was, and of course, she didn't respond. April 23rd of 2025 is the likely date of Celeste's death and when all her cellular activity stopped. David's cellular activity and communications pulled from his iPhone and his Tesla, which shows his activities from April 22nd of 2025 through April 24th of 2025, including a trip to Santa Barbara County in the middle of the night after Celeste arrived at his Hollywood Hills home. At approximately 11:30 p.m. on April 23rd of 2025, he drove away from his home as he texted and called Celeste's phone, asking where she was. David drove his Tesla north on the 101 freeway to San Marcos Pass Road, SR 154, near Lake Cachuma in Santa Barbara County. He returned home early the following morning on April 24th of 2025. David had an album release party on the night of April 24th of 2025. After April 26th of 2025, David never attempted to contact Celeste again. David purchases a shovel from Home Depot, and it was delivered from Postmates to his home on April 24th of 2025. On May 1st of 2025, David ordered 2 chainsaws from Amazon that was delivered to his home. On May 5th of 2025, David placed another order from Amazon, a body bag, heavy-duty laundry bags, and a blue inflatable pool that was also delivered to his home. He made these purchases under the fake name Victoria Mendez. On May 8th of 2025, David returned to the same area in Santa Barbara County, Leaving his home around 11:30 p.m., he returned to the area again on May 31st of 2025. This is an isolated site off SR 154 where Celeste's identification was discovered in January of 2026. That's why him visiting that location is relevant. July 7th of 2025, David ordered a burn cage from Amazon using the fake name again, and it was delivered to his home. Surveillance video shows David driving his Tesla on July 29th of 2025 for the last time before parking the vehicle and leaving on tour at the end of July. September 8th of 2025. The dismembered body of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez was discovered in the front trunk of David's Tesla. Celeste was identified by the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner on September 16th of 2025 by dental records. On September 17th of 2025, deputies served a search warrant to David. Inside his garage, detectives discovered evidence consistent with the dismemberment of Celeste's body in the inflatable pool earlier mentioned, which contained multiple linear cuts. Several biological samples, which tested positive for blood, were collected within the garage area as well. DNA analysis determined that various samples matched Celeste's unique genetic profile. 21-year-old singer David Anthony Burke was arrested on April 16th of 2026 and charged with the murder of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez. David has pleaded not guilty to all charges and is now incarcerated at the LA County Men's Central Jail in Los Angeles, California. He is being held without bail. A preliminary evidentiary hearing is scheduled for May 26 of 2026. This hearing was postponed from early May to allow the defense time to review over 40 terabytes of evidence, including digital and forensic data.